This may be the moment Samsung finally turns the Fold into a real mainstream premium purchase, because the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra is already being talked about as more than just a thinner foldable. The bigger question is whether it becomes good enough to justify a price that could land somewhere between $1,899 and $2,199, and whether waiting for it is actually smarter than buying a Fold 6, a OnePlus Open, or even a Galaxy S Ultra right now. If these early reports are even close to accurate, Samsung is pushing on the three areas that matter most to real buyers: thickness, battery efficiency, and camera credibility. And that matters because most people who skipped previous Fold models did not skip them over screen size. They skipped them because the compromise still felt too expensive. That is the core buying problem right now. Foldables have looked impressive for years, but the long-term value has been harder to defend. You're not just spending flagship money. You are making a premium tech investment that can cross the $2,000 line once you add storage, insurance, or accessories. Here is where things get very interesting. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra rumor cycle is pointing toward a slimmer body, stronger hinge design, a wider outer display, and a more aggressive camera setup. If Samsung delivers all four at the same time, that changes the buying decision far more than a simple chip upgrade ever could. And yes, the processor still matters. The most likely outcome is a next-generation Snapdragon flagship platform, which should bring a meaningful jump in sustained performance and battery efficiency over the Fold 6. In real-world terms, that could mean faster 4K video exports, smoother multitasking with 3 apps open, and less thermal throttling during long gaming sessions. That sounds normal on paper, but foldables live or die by efficiency. If Samsung can cut heat and improve battery life by even 10 to 15% in daily use, that is not a small upgrade. That is the difference between ending the day at 18% and ending it at 5%. Most buyers are completely missing this detail. On a foldable, battery gains are more valuable than raw benchmark gains. Nobody buys a book-style foldable just to open Geekbench. They buy it for travel, meetings, editing, reading, gaming, and replacing both a phone and a small tablet. So if the Fold 8 Ultra gets a larger vapor chamber, better idle efficiency, and smarter software management, that is a serious long-term ownership improvement. It means less charging anxiety, fewer heat issues, and better return on investment over 2 to 3 years. Now, let's talk design, because this could be the part that changes everything. Samsung has been under pressure from Chinese foldable brands for one simple reason. They made Samsung's Fold line look thick. Devices from Honor, Huawei, and even OnePlus have made buyers ask why Samsung still charges premium prices without matching the best hardware packaging. If the Fold 8 Ultra comes in thinner and lighter, the value story improves immediately. A foldable that feels like a normal phone when closed is easier to recommend. It fits pockets better, feels better one-handed, and lowers the day-to-day friction that stops many people from actually enjoying premium ownership. But that is not the biggest change. The wider cover display could matter even more than the thickness. One of the most common complaints with older Fold models was that the outer screen felt too narrow for comfortable typing, quick replying, and normal app use. If Samsung fixes that, the Fold stops feeling like a device you constantly have to unfold to tolerate. That single change alone could justify the upgrade for a lot of Fold 4 and Fold 5 owners. A wider cover screen is not just a spec improvement. It changes the real-world experience every hour you use the phone. At the same time, durability is still the trust issue. Buyers in the US, UK, Canada, and Australia are not only asking if the device looks better. They're asking if it is finally a smart investment. That means hinge reliability, crease visibility, dust resistance, and repair cost all matter almost as much as the display itself. And this is the part that surprised us the most. Samsung may not need to eliminate the crease to win this cycle. It just needs to reduce it enough while improving durability enough that buyers stop worrying about ownership risk. For many professionals, that peace of mind is worth more than another 5% of performance. Now compare this to the alternatives. If your budget is around $1,900, you're not just comparing the Fold 8 Ultra to the previous Fold. You're also looking at the Galaxy S Ultra, the Google Pixel Fold line, the OnePlus Open, and in some cases, even an iPhone Pro Max plus an iPad mini combo. That is a real financial decision. If Samsung wants the Fold 8 Ultra to feel worth the price, it has to prove that one device can replace two. Otherwise, buyers will keep doing the math and choosing a slab phone plus a second screen. At around the 3-minute mark in this decision, here is what most buyers are overlooking. Software optimization may be the hidden reason to wait for Samsung instead of chasing thinner hardware elsewhere. Samsung still has one of the strongest multitasking systems, the most polished app continuity, and a serious ecosystem advantage with Galaxy tablets, watches, earbuds, and Windows PCs. That matters for professional workflow. If you use split screen for email and documents, drag and drop images into notes, review PDFs on the move, or run messaging while editing content, software stability is part of the value equation. A thinner foldable that feels less polished is not automatically the better purchase. Now let's talk cameras, because this is where Samsung has often asked buyers to compromise. Previous Fold models were good, not class-leading. At this price, good is not enough. A $1,999 foldable should not take noticeably weaker photos than a Galaxy S Ultra that often sells for less. If Samsung brings a stronger main sensor, better low-light processing, and improved zoom quality, that helps the Fold 8 Ultra become a more complete flagship experience. In real-world use, that means cleaner indoor shots, faster motion capture of kids or pets, and more reliable video for creators who film on the go. Here is where things get very interesting again. Even if the camera hardware only improves modestly, Samsung can still deliver a visible upgrade through image processing and AI-assisted photography. Better skin tones, more natural HDR, and cleaner night mode can be more important than chasing giant megapixel numbers. But wait until you hear what the benchmarks actually showed in this category last generation. Samsung's foldables have often lagged behind their own Ultra phones in consistency, especially in zoom and shutter speed. So the Fold 8 Ultra does not need to beat the Galaxy S Ultra camera. It just needs to get close enough that buyers no longer feel punished for choosing the foldable form factor. That would be a huge shift. Now let's get into price analysis, because this is where a smart purchase either makes sense or falls apart. If Samsung starts the Fold 8 Ultra at $1,899, it becomes aggressive by foldable standards. If it launches at $1,999, it is asking buyers to pay the usual Samsung premium. And if it goes above $2,099, then every improvement has to feel obvious from day one. Spending $200 more only makes sense if the device gives you roughly 2 to 3 years of premium performance with fewer compromises. That works out to a manageable monthly cost for professionals, creators, and heavy multitaskers. But for casual users, the return on investment drops fast. This is the strongest curiosity point in the whole story. The Fold 8 Ultra might be easier to justify at $1,999 than the Fold 6 was at a similar price, even if the spec sheet does not look radically different. Why? Because buyers are not paying for one feature. They're paying for the moment foldables stop feeling like experiments. That is a big difference. If the battery lasts longer, the body gets thinner, the cover screen gets wider, the camera gets closer to ultra-level quality, and the hinge feels stronger, then the premium experience improves across every daily touchpoint. That is the kind of upgrade value that matters more than headline specs. Now think about upgrade timing. If you have a Fold 6, this probably does not sound like an automatic upgrade, unless Samsung delivers a major camera leap or a dramatic weight reduction. The current generation owner needs a very clear win to justify another near $2 $000 investment. But if you have a Fold 4 or Fold 5, the math starts to shift. You could be getting a meaningfully better battery profile, better usability when closed, better thermals, better durability, and possibly a better camera stack all in one move. That is the kind of multi-generation jump that can feel worth the cost. And if you're on a normal flagship phone from 2 or 3 years ago, like a Galaxy S22 Ultra, iPhone 13 Pro Max, or Pixel 7 Pro, the Fold 8 Ultra becomes less about upgrading a phone and more about changing your workflow. That could be a great investment if you will actually use the inner display for reading, planning, editing, and multitasking. But there is one feature almost nobody is talking about: long-term software support. On a premium device this expensive, software updates are not a bonus. They are part of the ownership value. If Samsung keeps offering strong update support and better foldable app optimization, that makes the Fold 8 Ultra easier to defend against rivals that may look exciting at launch but feel riskier over time. So after looking at everything, here is who should actually buy this right now and who should definitely wait. Casual users should probably skip it. If you mostly text, stream, browse, and take casual photos, a Galaxy S Ultra, iPhone Pro Max, or even a lower-priced flagship will give you better financial value and fewer durability concerns. Power users are the sweet spot. If you live in split screen, answer email nonstop, review documents, bounce between apps, and want a real productivity upgrade, this could be one of the smartest premium tech purchases of the year, assuming Samsung does not overprice it. Professionals should strongly consider it if the wider cover display and battery improvements actually show up. Those two changes affect real-world performance every single day. They make the device more useful, not just more impressive. Creators should wait for the camera details before committing. If Samsung meaningfully closes the gap with the Galaxy S Ultra in photo and video consistency, then the Fold 8 Ultra becomes a powerful creator workflow tool. If not, some creators are still better off with an S Ultra or iPhone Pro Max. Gamers should pay close attention to thermals. If the new chip and cooling system deliver sustained frame rates with less heat, the Fold 8 Ultra could be a fantastic premium gaming device. If not, it remains more of a showcase than a best value gaming phone. Upgraders from 2-year-old devices should be watching this very closely. This is where the best return on investment may land. Going from a Fold 4, Fold 5, or an older flagship slab phone to a thinner, more refined Fold 8 Ultra could feel like a genuine step into the future. Upgraders from the current generation should wait. Unless Samsung reveals a dramatic hardware leap. The smart financial move is to keep your current device and reassess after trade-in deals or a price drop. So here is the final verdict. Buy now if Samsung launches the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra at or below $1,999 and delivers the rumored improvements to thickness, cover display usability, battery life, and camera quality. Upgrade if you're on a Fold 4, Fold 5, or a 2 to 3-year-old flagship and want one device that can genuinely improve your productivity and premium ownership experience. Wait if you already own the latest Fold, or if Samsung pushes pricing too high without fixing the old compromises. And skip it entirely if you're a casual user who wants the best value flagship rather than the most ambitious one. If Samsung gets this right, the Fold 8 Ultra may not just be another foldable. It could be the first one that makes waiting feel smarter than buying anything else today. And if you're deciding between this and Samsung's next Ultra Slab phone, that full buying breakdown is the one to watch next.